All right, Kenman here. New Year's Day bonus footage time. Yeah. The crowd goes wild. Yeah, you may not know why the Phemius is apart and darker than it used to be, but you'll see it's coming up. But I just want to throw this thing back together. It's not a video. We've already done the dye for this. I just added it to something else and darkened it up. And here we are. Little bonus extra clip for you. Before I start, I'm not sponsored by anyone. Purchase everything at retail price. Do these videos because I love discussing knives and sharing info and ideas with others. If you have any questions or thoughts, please feel free to comment below. 2024. Let's put my Phemius back together here, right? Okay, so yep, I dyed it a little darker. It was a lighter gray, trying to make it green. I was able to get it at least darker gray. It does have a shade of a green to it, but it's definitely dark, but I'm pretty happy. I like it. It looks a little better than it did before. It does have a captive pivot. There is a little notch right there that sits right in that spot, and then also keeps that pivot, that logo on the pivot, perfectly horizontal. I am gonna try a little different today. I'm gonna put that one on, get a screw started here. Just trying some different, ooh, it is a T8 for the body screws. Kind of holding that barrel from spinning with my middle finger there. Figure I would try something a little different. Get this kind of set up. Hear that siren going by? They found me. How many times have you heard that joke? Okay. So, kind of pre-assembling this side here. Throw that in right there. Okay. We are rocking and rolling. So, we're going to put a bearing down. Pick up that sweet, sweet shaped Phemius blade. Be careful. Put the other one over that. And let's just get this thing back together. I was looking on the Kubey page recently. And yes, I did order something. Should be here soon. But there were several things that I saw that I was interested in. What? One of them was, sorry, my brain stops working when I'm... One of the things that I saw on the site that I did not actually order, that I am on deck to order, is they have the Phemius, but it is in a different blade steel. It's an upgraded, shoot, what was it? I don't remember now. Might be 14C28, and I don't know, this one's D2. Nothing wrong with D2, but it does have more of a potential for corrosion. So, and I really like this knife, and so because I like the knife, I would definitely consider owning it in a higher quality steel. That makes sense, right? All right, I'm a lefty. Make sure I'm going on the right side here. But because I already own it, and this knife is great and it's very smooth, it's tough to purchase another one and spend money on a knife that I actually already have and love. This one is great. But an upgrade in the steel and the knife, you know, they're not too expensive. I'm definitely considering it. All right, so I want to pay attention to blade centering, so I'm going to crank the blade down. You can see it's a little bit kicked to the left right now. But after I tighten everything else down, we can then loosen that blade up to where it will sit nice. And then hopefully it'll be nice and centered and the action will be good. The action on this before I did this secondary die was incredible. Really drop shut, awesome action for a $40. All right, these are T6 inside here, so I'm always extra careful because you can strip those out a lot easier. All right, got the pocket clip tight. Double check all of these. One last time, get this together. Nice little bonus video. Don't expect a bonus video every day. I did make the promise I'm going to do one full-length video every day and then some shorts every day. And I will continue to maintain that minimum. Little loose, got to tighten that down just a notch. All right. We have my Kubey Phemius back together for the second time. Definitely darker. What does everyone think about this secondary dye? It was already kind of a darker or kind of a gray, so getting it to go, whenever you have a color and you add dye to it, the dye can only affect the color that you currently are at. You cannot make it lighter, you can only make it darker. You can only take the color that exists and mix it with your dye. So when you have something that's gray, you can add hot pink to this all day you want, and it's never going to be hot pink. It's always going to have this gray mixed with it, so it's going to be dull. It was already a dull color. Ooh, yeah, but look at our action. This knife is like 40 bucks. Tell me that isn't great. You can get that kind of drop shut feel when you have a heavier blade. I wouldn't say this is an extremely heavy knife. So that feel right there that we're getting is just great. That's one of the reasons I love the Phemius. The action on it is really cool. The look, I love the angular kind of style of the handle. That huge kind of clip swoop on the point. The fuller hole for flicking open. Plus you can use that flipper tab. Oops, there we go. Get a couple fails for you. Excellent stuff. I am quite happy. Sometimes when you are experimenting and you're doing some custom work, it's worth it to go ahead and continue to try to improve it. Just because you did something doesn't mean it's permanent. Although in certain cases you can't go back. You can't take a white scale that you dyed and then bring it back to white. But you can always continue to add more. Worst case scenario, make it black. You can do anything you want to these things. And at the end of the day, if you just absolutely hate it, you can throw it in some black dye for 10 minutes. That thing will be black. And then a black and silver or a black and black knife is a normal look that's very common. And most people don't really complain about just a solid black. So not really the worst thing in the world to try. This almost does look black. Love it. Pretty happy about it. A lot of good customization videos and stuff coming up in the future. This is going to be it for today. If you enjoy what you see, please hit that like button. Subscribe if you would like to see more. Helps me out, and I really appreciate it. Stay sharp. We'll see you soon.